our world, where different cultures and traditions exist. Different faces that express joy, anger, hurt, excitement, love, and so much more. Different shades and hues of skin that show beauty. Never quiet, always alive. Alive with emotions, experiences, struggles, and being. In this vast world, Qatar is only one of its many countries. So small, yet with a population so diverse, filled with people of different backgrounds found in every corner of this desert land. A melting pot where different cultures intertwine, where nations cross paths. A country built from the ground up, made possible with the help of expatriates and nationals of other countries. But within these borders, there are also smaller worlds of their own. Communities of people with different nations, thriving and finding their place in their home away from home. Children who speak in different languages and feast in different cuisine, but they all share the same smile. Despite our differences, we find ourselves living in the same world of pain, hope, and laughter. Now, what does equity, diversity, and inclusion mean to us? These three concepts that are so distinct yet interrelated. One cannot be achieved without the other. Diversity comes first, which is a numerical representation of different people of different backgrounds. On the surface, diversity assumes we're all the same. It's a damaging oversimplification that alienates people because we see them as different. However, diversity on a deeper level is acknowledging our differences and not feeling ashamed for it. It is embracing our commonalities while maintaining the differences we have in our identity. With diversity, we have to ensure inclusion is present. What use does diversity have if we do not include those different from us? It is a step forward in being able to empower those included and evoke a sense of true belongingness. It is ensuring that people feel a sense of value in their existence as a member of the team and are able to have a voice. Even among the most diverse teams, there's not always a feeling of inclusion. The very essence of inclusion is making different individuals feel that their thoughts, ideas, and perspectives matter. Inclusion may be a definite step toward equity, but even those who feel included may not experience equity. Equity is a concept more complex than diversity and inclusion. It is about each one of us getting chances of receiving what we need to survive and succeed. But it is also about considering the individual needs of the people and the circumstances they face in life. To ensure there is fairness, sometimes some of us just need a head start. Regardless of who we are, where we're from, and what we have in our pockets, we get to have the access to opportunity, networks, resources, and most especially support, whether that be from our government, healthcare, and humanity itself. Equity, diversity, and inclusion is a step forward in humanity. It allows us to be more accepting of those around and embrace what they have to offer. It promotes the representation and participation of different groups of people with diverse backgrounds, experiences, skills, and expertise. These three terms allow us to build a more fair society that brings people together and breaks what has divided us throughout the years. Years of war, years of judgment, and years of indifference. It's a step forward in eliminating the prejudices we had and instead create stronger bonds between each of us. Equity, diversity, and inclusion bring to light the barriers and historical factors that have caused unfair conditions for underrepresented groups. It acknowledges and tries to fix years of oppression minority groups have faced before. The presence of equity, diversity, and inclusion aims to develop a culture where everyone can feel valued, engaged, and respected for what they do and are given the opportunity to progress. In a globalized world, it is much more crucial now than ever to teach the youth how to be culturally sensitive, because education should never be restrictive, but expansive. The creation of a diverse and inclusive education plants seeds in youth's mind where their perspectives grow and expand, reaching far and wide. But how can the youth learn about the world if they don't immerse themselves into the world of others and understand the world outside their borders? Learning about equity, diversity, and inclusion allows us to stray away from our self-centered tendencies and realize that each of us are different and that it is completely okay. It allows the youth to understand that these inequalities exist and that sometimes these inequalities affect others more than it does to them. It is important that we break down boundaries and build a generation that recognizes the presence of these inequalities and find ways to bridge these gaps. By doing so, we build a generation that is more open-minded and understanding. A brighter future is one led by a compassionate youth. Equity, diversity, and inclusion are even more crucial in healthcare. Every human feels pain, goes through hardships, and faces difficulties. Pain is never exclusive, and disease can strike regardless of how much power you hold and what wealth you carry. We are human after all, and the body is bound to fail. Disease does not choose which body to take, because at the end of the day, once we're stripped of our skin, we're left with the same blood and bones. Healthcare is and should never be exclusive. A nurse, a doctor, or any other healthcare professional cannot heal a man's failing heart and in the same breath deny someone the same privileges. Equity, diversity, and inclusion are not only crucial in providing a better service to patients and their families, but it is also important to hire and retain a workforce that is representative of the patient population served. By doing so, we ensure that patients don't feel like a minority in a place where they already feel vulnerable in. Having equitable, diverse, and inclusive healthcare ensures that people have access to the services and resources necessary to achieve their full health potential. It allows healthcare professionals to build better and more personalized care for each individual, taking into consideration how the social determinants of health affect each of them. It also allows healthcare professionals to fully grasp that behind the diseases they treat are people with lives that struggle with the circumstances in life far more than the diagnosis they face. After all, healthcare is not for one, but for all. In this vast world, we are connected by one thing and one thing only: being human. Regardless of our race, the color of our skin, the languages we speak, and the abilities we have, beneath all of this, we share the same components of what makes us human. Discrimination and oppression thrive because of systems that are difficult to topple, but we have control over our actions. We have control over how we impact another life, and with this, we can slowly make change. By changing the way we think and perceive, we can make even bigger changes that improve the world we live in. The world is found within Qatar's borders. Similarly, as people, we must keep our own borders open for others. Open to love, open to care, open to accept.